integrated into a counter. But basically what you have is we had these cards that were in a little chute that stuck out of the counter. And this says drop a card on the glass. So whenever you do, it's reading off of the card. You basically get all these 4 different options, right? So if you move the card over any one of these, it releases content.
Oh shit.
So the
Oh,
content.
that is amazing. Can you hear the sound of it and everything?
Yeah. So, but if you take the card away, everything kind of disappears.
Yeah. So what did they use this for?
So this was the objective of this was Scion says, hey, we do more than just sell cars, right? We have a music label, we have a racing team, we have all this stuff, and then we want basically to give the audience the ability to kind of play around with our brand. And then these are some race cars and content, you know, videos, right? But then if you touch these cars, you can play with it. You know, so
it's a really good way to
look, we've got all this stuff. Can we communicate it in a fun way for the event audience? So all this stuff lives online in some way, right? But what we did is literally just curate a bunch of content, created a system that people can explore it, really fun. And then this card, if you walk over to my window over there, if you walk throughout the space, this is a small example. You know, something like this was on the car, on the car window. It says "Used to reveal," and you can see like "Kiss my rear wheel drive." You know, and this is just like you can literally walk around the space and like look through this and decode things in videos and passwords and give away prizes. And so this card was actually extended beyond the glass.
Does it have to be flat like that? Can it be on a wall?
Oh, yeah, it can be on a wall. Yeah, it depends on whatever the application is. Like that was custom developed for Scion. That one was custom developed for VW, and that was in a big screen. But there's multiple things. I mean, these are like beyond. We pushed beyond websites, and now we're doing these like engaging.
We'll send 4 machines after one show, 4 to another. We have it tracking, so we can actually log in remotely to a machine and fix it wherever it might be.
Just through the web.
Status checkers where it says like, oh.
Do you rent these or buy these?
Either or.
It depends. You know, you can rent them for the year. You can for the show. Depends on the investment. See, here's the little like place the card on screen to start. There you go.
Like I want to see some racing. I just nice drift. Long Beach Grand Prix.
Almost good. And I can play this one over here too if I want.
Yeah, because it'd be cool if you have it on the wall and they're like, hey, I want to listen to a truck. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And see a video of a truck. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, and make it bigger and just play around. Or like a race of drifting.
For like exhaust and stuff?
Yeah.
That actually
It's usually
funny.
magnet.
Yeah, it's
I'm going
funny
to show
that
you
I
guys
went
the
But
LFA.
that was one of the hardest things for me when I went to buy my exhaust system. Is just hearing what it was going to sound like on a different engine, different. Like
They all want to hear what it sounds like. You know what I mean? Like if I'm coming over to you.
Like saying, oh,
This is literally just off my iPhone, right? But this is the Lexus booth in Detroit. We had this LED system that just was ambient and cool, but what we did is we created these interactive screens in these pillars, and one of them, this is the LFA, this is really raw. So this is the performance zone where all the performance cars are. And this is the start button for the car. So watch. So it had speakers, this car, you can rev, but see the LED leading over to the car?
Yeah. Oh.
So we had speakers hidden underneath that car from the exhaust that was like, and it was pretty loud.
Wait a minute. This is like really mind. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, so this is this. It's just telling you that's what the sound is coming from that car.
That's
correct?
what yeah. So at other shows we had the car right next to the screen, but this particular show,
I love
the
it.
car was far away, so they were like, wait a second, where's that coming from behind me? And then it basically just showed them
And
So
then
the
people that were over at the car that all of a sudden like led this car just like
oh, that's
who's
so
turning it on?
awesome.
Then you can
Yeah.
trace it back to see like somebody's playing
We
with
have like
this.
subs and everything
So,
underneath it. So it's
it had subwoofer in the car, and like we didn't initially scoped like a huge system in the trunk of the car that was like roar. They didn't want to go too gnarly with it because all the other show attendees would have been.
Like, this would be so cool if you were about like yourself an exhaust. If you had like a truck on display and you were actually able to pick your exhaust system and the truck was there and it could mimic what this truck would sound like in front of you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we just built out this revolver, and it's like because everybody, like you said, wants to know what does it sound like. So it like we have like our mufflers in the back of the thing, and it revolves like a gun.
Oh,
So it
that's
shows
cool.
different mufflers
That's
on
cool.
it. But that'd be cool. I mean, it's not working yet, you know what I mean? But it can give you a sample because when you take them to those shows, you're not allowed to turn on the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it'd be
That's-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
these are
That's
this
your
is this is the ideation. This is where the creative comes in. Like for a brand like yours, right? Is look, we want interactive concepts to showcase our cars, and this is kind of at the rawest form. This is what we took back to Lexus. We said, look, we're doing digital engagements for your booth space, and we need to keep them attractive, simple, and powerful. So, oops, check this out. So, we literally say, all right, well, we've got digital wheel stands. Let's use these, touchscreen narratives to kind of learn about the cars. And then you've got, kind of brochureware, or this is really, really early stuff, but you want to learn about the car, let's give them a simple way that they can flip through a digital brochure about that car that they're standing in front of, and it could look something like this. It didn't end up looking like this, but, you can touch on any of these navigation points and slide to any point in the chapter, or you can touch on a car and learn about it, but it's all kind of really, really early stuff. Here's that interactive
Love
zone.
that. That is like beyond,
Yeah, it could be product focused. You can spin around exhaust on cars or whatever you want, right? You could touch the exhaust and hear it.
You actually go through it.
You go
follow
through
the
it.
path of the exhaust. Like,
So, and then this is what you saw kind of way early, is this performance zone of cars. Here's really early, what if we can allow somebody to start the car? The race car is interesting. So, okay, you can see from concept, you can touch the needle and move it, or you can drag the needle, fire up the car, and then this is the original light. And we ended up building it, they were like, this is awesome. Then feature cars, you can swipe left or right and get into kind of videos of feature
nice.
cars. This was a way early concept of, okay, they're doing campaigns that involve swimsuit models and these cars. Let's create a site that allows the LFA meets an Eclipse jet, and they already had a video supporting this, but we were going to allow them to change it and say LFA versus a supermodel, and then just play out that video that they already had. But it's a very simple screen, but it's a system. It's not a website, but it's just a system that's taking stuff they've already done. Then we've got you have tons of racing content. Let's give them a simple way to explore that, and so on and so on. So then we had, additional ideas where the ideas of this zone in here where you can, walk up to a hood hanging on the wall like an art piece, and just your presence walking up to it turns on a video screen that's hidden in the wall that shows you like what goes into polishing of the paint in a car.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Or you've got,
Did this all stuff work? Did you guys do this with the hood of the car?
No, we didn't do that.
Okay.
They didn't choose that.
Okay,
But
they didn't choose
we had
that.
this idea of a museum experience of
Okay.
because
They
they
could
want to
only-
say like,
they
look,
could only
the
do-
quality of Lexus, what you get, like there's these crazy guys in Japan that literally put their hands over every piece to find imperfections, and they have that, and they wanted to communicate that in the space of what goes
For
into
the
a
quality.
Lexus for the quality, right? So they've got this pre-existing content that we would take, and then Teddy or a video editor, we would cut it down to something really cool, right, and short, but then this crank is really there. And we basically have a sensor that when somebody walks up, it says touch the crank. When you touch the crank, maybe it's a Kinect camera that sees the hand, and then the Kinect camera tells the computer to play the video, and it plays a video of this guy touching
Wow.
the crank. So it's kind of real and physical, but it's kind of cool.
Interactive.
It's interactive. If somebody walks away, then that video hides back and kind of turns off, But
And all of those things, these interactive engagements, things like shows and events, it just gives the people more time with the brand and to really, it's about,
Hang out.
It's about an
Yeah.
experience.
So that's all. That's all this stuff.
Bad shot of it.
Anyway,
Oh,
so like they're just activation ideas that we deal in kind of all of these ideas that with brands and culture and public, and this is event marketing, but we deal in any scale, So when you're talking about like event marketing and activation, it's a surf competition. It's like, what do people come there for? The surfing. You don't want to be on their face with the product and sell, but how do you activate them